Hey, Ange.
Hey, Les. How are you doing today?
Look at you. First of all, we haven't recorded in quite some time, so here we are. And look, you decided to dress like me.
Listen, hold on. Is
Go
that
ahead.
what you wore to work? Because I've had this on all day.
I've had this on since.
So this has nothing to do.
20 to 7 a.m. 6:40.
So you noted that time because you wanted it to be clear that I was biting?
That you were biting. And, you know, when I get to work, I take my clothes off and put on scrubs. So they're probably fresher than yours.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Anything
That's all right.
to be up.
It's okay. It's okay.
So listen.
My eyes are starting to
tear because you're so happy to see me?
Yeah. Okay, that's why.
Ange.
Yes.
In addition to Ange, what is it that I call you, like, as a nickname? I noticed it recently, and I really like it. Like, what do I call you as a term of endearment or whatever?
You say, hey, Pally.
Pally. That's it. Pally. I like that. You're my Pally.
It too.
Yeah.
I like it too. You got me crying now, but
I know. But it's okay. I'm here for you.
I appreciate that.
So guys, welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn. Listen, we did this little chit chat because this is how we do. We chit chat. Okay.
You see what okay. Hi, I'm Angela, and that's Leslie, my best friend of almost 40 years. It's 50 years. See, I even forgot the intro. I'm going to start over. Hi, I'm Angela, and that's Leslie, my best friend of almost 50 years. We are two free-thinking 60-something-year-old Black women who have decided to be more bold and joyful in our lives for the rest of our lives. And we invite you to join us on our journey and also to get on your journey. So we're going to be talking about, I think this is the last of our series on joy over fear. The things that, the fears that kind of can interrupt or defer or just kind of kibosh our joy, and how we have made decisions and are making decisions to let joy shine through. And this week is going to be about our fears about moving abroad. We're going, so we are getting over the fear and doing it anyway. But we did want to talk about some of the things that we're still really, really concerned about. Before we go on, Leslie has something to ask of you.
So please hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications. We know that you want to be part of this Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn community. We drop new content just about every week or so we don't want you to miss out. So take the time now to press like and subscribe.
Thank you.
So, Ange, here's what I was thinking when we were just talking about joy over fear and deciding to talk a little bit more in depth about our planned move out of the country to Panama. I don't want it to seem, and it almost, I think in retrospect, we kind of presented it like, okay, we're ready. This is going to be cake. This is going to be good. We have all our ducks lined up and all, because there's quite a few people that are really considering leaving the country for various reasons. And we don't want to give the false impression that it's a cakewalk. It's like, this is this analogy I use all the time. It's like, this is not easy. I only make it look easy. So I really think it's a good idea to really present some of the, not just the inner speech that we've had with ourselves, but the things that we've talked about to each other, about some of the hesitations or concerns that we have. And I have a few.
Yeah, I have a few too. And these are actual fears, right? And again, I'm going to keep repeating this, that we don't think life without fear is really true. We don't really believe that you can be fearless, or we don't I don't even know what that means really.
Mm-hmm.
I think what that means, what people are trying to say when they say be fearless or those types of things, is that you can move through your fear. But
Mm.
we want to just kind of highlight that fear is not something to avoid. If you are not doing something because you're fearful, that's eh. The thing is, you're going to feel the fear, but how do you move through it to get to the place of joy?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is important for us to talk about the fears because although we're moving forward with this pretty bold decision, we still have fears that we have to put in their place and move through them. So we're just going to be really honest about them. And they're important, and they are
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they are gripping.
I was just going to say something
You
like
know, they
that.
come
Yeah.
up in prayer quite a bit. You know, where I
Yeah.
ask God for peace about it. But yeah, so do you want to start, or do you want me to
The
start?
only other thing in general I want to say about fear is not that we're suggesting or it's a good idea to ignore fears because
Right.
fear is there for a reason. It
Correct.
almost asks us to raise our spidey senses about something
Yes.
and
Right.
perhaps give it more, even if it starts as a stirring, to give
Yeah.
it a little bit more consideration. So we're
That's
not
right.
saying that we want to totally eradicate fear. We want to
We
be
do
in
not.
tune to it, pay attention to it, and then move through it.
Right.
So I'll start. One of the things that I was thinking about more clearly and would make me a little nervous about being in Panama is that I don't speak the language
Mm-hmm.
fluently.
Mm-hmm.
And I was recently reminded of how alienated I could feel in another language when
Mm-hmm.
I attended via Zoom the going homegoing service of a loved one there, and the service was in Spanish,
Without
so
subtitles.
without subtitles. So, in addition to being in the emotion of the moment, I was also straining to understand the words,
Yeah.
that the leader was saying,
Yeah.
and it made me think of a few things. One, how uncomfortable I felt because I couldn't be fully present.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I've often thought about, and I think in terms of my work, one of the hospitals I work in has a predominant Latino and Latina population, and I would say way more that actually than half of them do not speak any or much English.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had to step up my game in terms of speaking Spanish, a
Right.
lot of it medical terminology, but not
Mm-hmm.
always. And I often say how uncomfortable it must be being in a medical situation
Mm-hmm.
where you can be so otherwise vulnerable for other reasons, and then not knowing the Spanish,
Right.
the English language, and so often you're embarrassed. The patients are a little bit embarrassed, or they'll more often nod their head when perhaps they don't have a full understanding of it, and they just accept it.
Right.
So I put myself in that position. I think I really need to step up my game in increasing my fluency in Spanish.
Right.
The other thing that brings up, a couple of things.
Well, I want to say something about that
Yes.
before you move on. So, I was watching something on social media the other day, and it was maybe it was a trailer to a movie. I don't remember, but it was this woman from Brazil. So
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese is her first language, and she's learning English. And, a part of language are these idioms, which have this meaning. They don't really make sense literally. For example, what's a good idiom? what's a good example of an idiom?
Put all your
Like
eggs in one basket.
put all your eggs in one perfect, right? So things like that. So she said something and it caused her friend who's an English speaker to laugh, because it was funny. And the non-native English speaker said, um, where I come from in my native language, I'm brilliant. I'm a poet. I have a command of the language. It's a part of who I am. I speak beautifully. And here I am.
Wow.
And I know it's not your intention, but you're laughing at me. It's like I've lost a piece of myself.
Oh
she
my.
said.
Wow.
And so it really struck me because we do that here, intentionally or not. We put some sense of intelligence around how fluently people speak English.
And not just intelligence, but superiority. It
all
speaks
of that
in terms
stuff.
of class.
Yes.
Obviously, I see it in the way medical care is delivered.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
For
about
sure.
that, kind of adding that onto it. And you actually talked about what we can do to work around this, and it is to learn the language, right?
To learn the language.
And what my experience in Mexico in the 90s, I lived there for about 4 months, and I got fluent. And I know my own experience has taught me that being immersed, so you do your own work, right, to learn the language, because I had a Spanish teacher there, and my work colleagues would only speak to me in Spanish. So I was forced to do the hardest part, which is speaking it versus just understanding it or being able to read it.
Yeah.
And I was forced to speak it, and I got fluent because when, a part of why you don't want to speak, I don't want to make a mistake. When you get on a bus and you want to get to where you're getting to, and you have to say the word, however flawed it is, you're going to say the word as best you can. And they're going to correct you, or they're going to ask you, and then it's locked.
Or laugh
it's not
at
you. All the things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that being immersed in the language, and I do not want to kind of fall on the gadgets that we use and expect them to learn my language. I'm grateful if they meet me a part of the way, but this idea of, so it is really scary. It is really scary to be in a place where you don't know
the language.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I speak enough that I can be safe.
Yeah, you're really
and
good.
get around.
Yeah.
But I really don't know as much as I would. I mean, not at all. The other thing I'll say about that, not knowing the language. This is funny.
I'm laughing already. I don't know what you're saying. What
you
you're
know.
say. Why am I laughing?
You
I don't
know
know why I'm laughing.
Alpha and dominant I can be or try
Really?
to be,
You?
right?
Really? No, really?
My partner's first language is Spanish. And I often see people here where one of the two partners speak English fluently. And they have to depend on that person to navigate the medical care.
Right.
So even in the interview, well, we give them the option of using an official translator, but if they opt not to and ask to use a family member, sometimes they use a child.
Okay.
I would not feel comfortable depending on my partner.
Leslie, you are so...
I'm like,
you better let go.
Oh no! What pill this is you're really giving me?
Nah, she don't care about that.
But what are the skull and crossbones? What does that mean? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Just take it. Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh.
Having to depend on the things that I think about. Let me tell you. It's not the first time I've been
Oh
in
my
this situation because
God.
my former spouse, he too, English was not his first language. So I was very often in the room with my in-laws, and I was also asking, what are they saying? I learned a little bit, but I was like, what are they saying? What did they say?
Right, right.
Again, quite a vulnerable position to be in. If if that it wasn't. They were friendly and stuff, and most times
Right,
when I was around, they spoke English. But there were
right.
times they were kind of into it. I so yeah, that part of it, going there and depending on my partner initially before I became fluent.
Right.
Makes me a little nervous.
Okay. You're a little nervous.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Well, I started. You can
Okay.
go
I
because
can go.
I
I can
have
go.
more. Oh, I
So,
have fears.
so one of the fears I have is my children. They're adults. They're 22, 28, and 30. Um, I have fears about how much I'm going to miss them. And although I have no idea at this point whether I'm going to see them less or more frequently when I move, because one of the reasons for why Panama is such a good option is because it's not that far away from the U.S., right? But two of my children are on the West Coast. So it's missing them, and the other part of it is leaving them. It's leaving them here when there's so much uncertainty here, and like I'm
Yeah.
gonna run back, and if I were here, I would put on a cape and go save them,
Yeah.
whatever. So I know that that's going to be a really big adjustment. Just the idea of being in a different country where they may not have access to me and I may not have access to them. That creates a lot of kind of
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
lump in the throat for
I
me.
understand that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've thought about that for a while because
Mm-hmm.
we are the only ones leaving.
Right. For now.
And we're leaving the family here.
Right. Right.
I wasn't that concerned about that per se because I
Mm-hmm.
see the world as getting so much smaller.
Yeah.
And one, travel being easier,
Right.
but also with internet and
Mm-hmm.
video chatting and things like
Yeah.
that, people
Yeah.
can be more connected,
That's true.
in that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
You probably, will be as far away from your firstborn here
Mm-hmm.
than you would be if you were, if you stayed here in terms of your distance away from the two on the West Coast.
Yeah.
In terms
true.
of, so it's kind of easy
Yeah.
to move around the world,
Yeah.
especially this part of the world. So far, there's not that much difficulty in that.
And sometimes fear is not logical. That's the other thing.
Oh, shoot.
It's
Let me
like,
tell you
I
about
don't
my
care what you're telling
experience.
me about that. You are absolutely right. I don't care. I'm still
Yeah,
worried.
I get it. I
I'm
get
still
it. You should have seen me in Tortuguera in Costa Rica with the bugs.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry you had that experience, Les. Every time I think about it, laughter comes up, but it's not laughing at you. It is just the idea of, I think I would just pass. I think I would faint.
I was
think I would
never.
faint.
I think that was the most scared I was ever in my life.
Wow. Even growing up in Brooklyn? Really?
And the thing that made it worse was that I couldn't pass out because I knew if I stayed there, then
Yeah.
they would be on me, But but the other thing is that he didn't realize at the time that I was really serious and how much of a
Right.
fear
Right.
of bugs that I
Yeah.
had. They were huge. They were, like, and they were.
Plentiful.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say.
Okay,
I
don't.
told you that the next morning when they were all dead, the pile was up above your knees. The
I
piles
can't.
of
I
them.
can't. I can't. I guess you experienced it once, right?
It
You'll
was
never
like
do that
the
again?
biblical lotus.
Locust.
I wouldn't mind lotus flowers, locusts. But anyway,
Wow.
so what was my point about that? Why
I
did
don't
I bring
know.
up the most fearful
I have
time I've
another.
ever experienced?
I it's created
Yeah,
like a break in the synapse. All right.
but I
So
have another one.
okay,
Is it
go.
my turn or your turn?
It's your turn, babe. Go.
Two things I'm thinking of. One thing, when I leave, I will be leaving my work. And
Yes.
those of you who know me know how much I enjoy my work. So I am not necessarily calling it a retirement because that sounds so final. I
Right.
do not plan to practice medicine in Panama.
Right. You
Um,
can't anyway.
but so much of who I am, what I enjoy, my identity is as of here, my stature in the community, the way people see me. Um, I am this healer, I am this physician. I do plan to go there and not be that.
Right.
You know, I kind of want to blend in a little bit more and be Joe Schmo, but that's
Right.
different for me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that's going to be very different for me.
Yeah.
You know, my type A personality, I wonder if I'm really able to relax and not have an agenda or be in the OR at 7 a.m. or this or that, you know.
Right.
I'm nervous about that. I'm trying to like wind down and just, you know, be a little bit more introspective in that regard, you know.
Right. Right.
So that's a fear and a big concern that I have.
Of course.
And then when I leave the workforce,
Yeah.
if I decide to come back,
Yeah.
how easy would it be for me to slide back into it in terms of my skill sets or how long I'm away or
Right.
the changes that might happen? You know,
Right. Yeah.
I remain a Black woman physician, you know,
Yeah.
and we don't have it easy in general. So
Right.
leaving and coming back, I might have a little bit more resistance to just that flow back into the workforce if that's what I choose to do.
Right.
That's what I'm
Right.
thinking.
Yeah. I get that. And it made me think about some fears that come up around money. And because when you mentioned that to me before, you were like, well, what if, because I'm like, well, you're retired, so why are you thinking about coming back and working? And you're like, well, what if I want to get this or what if I want to get that and I want to just work a little bit to get that and so on. And so two things. One is you're retired, number one. Number two, it is I was thinking about this person in the Exodus Summit community that I'm a part of. And she mentioned that she has enough money squared away for retirement, and she had some fears around, the what ifs, right? The I may need more, and
That's
what
me.
if I get sick, and all of those things. And I was wondering why those particular things are not really big fears for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it's because, and I know we're not talking about what's not a fear, but I know that that type of thing is a real point of fear for other people who are moving abroad. And I was just thinking that we have this ideas about how much we need, and I was wondering if it's because my being having experience being born and living in Jamaica, where I know that people live without this stuff, like 99% of the people live without these things. And I see people living good lives without all of these things that we think we need to have in place here.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like, well, just forget about it. I'm not suggesting that, but I was just kind of, wow, it's one thing to think about those things and to try to have those in place, and it's another thing to really fear them. I think that's the distinction that I want to make, is being mindful of them versus fearing them.
Yeah.
And so that came to mind when you were talking about, well, if I need to come back to earn more money and whatever. And it's like, girl, you got enough money. What are you talking about? You just want to have the thing and the money.
You don't want to use. And that's just it. I think once I get used to living with less, requiring less.
Right.
He and I have talked about what are we going to do with our vehicles.
Yeah.
We are not bringing 5 cars to Panama.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or however many cars we have.
Yeah.
So we will have one, or maybe we will have 2, one for each of us, but not more than that,
Right.
And not likely the cars that we own currently. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in order to be comfortable with a narrower life, I'll call it narrow.
Yeah.
Not that it's not in a judgy way, but just less stuff, less complicated.
Yep.
You have to get from where you are right now to that.
Yes,
and it's that transitional period that might be
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So it's the anticipation of being uncomfortable. For example, when I was in Ghana a few times, they don't have electricity all the time. They actually rent or sell some of their electricity for income. They sell it to other regions.
Right.
So I remember being like, it is known that Wednesdays at 6 p.m. you have no electricity until the next morning. You plan for it. But of course, the first Wednesday I was there with no electricity, it was a little uncomfortable. It's like, okay, what are we going to do now? Oh my goodness, it's going to get hot. It's going to get hot.
How many times did you turn on and turn off the light switch?
It's that kind of thing. I remember when we had Hurricane Sandy here, my spouse at the time was so used into television and stuff. There is no power anywhere on the East Coast.
Wow.
He never let go of the remote.
Just
he never
in case.
let go of the remote. So we become creatures of habit, and we wonder, and then it becomes difficult to separate the needs from the wants.
Yes.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I know I can live with less and be comfortable and this and slide into that, but it's gonna get a little itchy.
Yeah.
Initially.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Well, another thing that is on my list of fears and kind of fears in figuring out is around death and dying, right? It's not like I have so much information about it here.
Are you sick? Are you trying to tell me something?
I'm not sick.
Are you going there to live your life?
I'm feeling very well. I'm feeling great.
Good.
We'll talk about, maybe on the next episode, we'll talk about this fasting lifestyle that I'm trying to adopt. And
then I'll talk about my new way of moving my body.
Okay. Ooh, podcast episode. So just the process, it's like, where do I begin, right? Death is
Say more.
Death is an absolute, so it can't be avoided.
We don't leave this world without it.
Like, how do I put things in place? What legal things do I have to have in place so that my children have access to my remains, for example, right? Or even, and this is a part about being an immigrant. Where do you want your remains to go when you die? Like, I I wouldn't necessarily want them to go back to Jamaica. I feel like I've just been away from it, from there for so long. And do I want my remains to
Wow.
be at a place that my children can go and visit? And those types of things just spin and spin and spin in my head. And I have to land somewhere, but that is kind of one of the fears I have about how that gets figured out. And oftentimes when we have fears about something, we don't deal with it. And that's how we deal with it, by not dealing with it. But I don't want that. I want to have some plans in place so that I can make it easy for them. And yeah.
I was just thinking about that when you said fear. I was saying, like, you know how your anxiety around finances, you got a money coach.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, maybe you can get a death coach. And then it's like, wait a minute. We know a death doula.
We know a death coach. Yes. We're going to put a link to that episode.
We know
here.
a death doula.
So, yeah.
And I know
yeah,
they would be able to give us some insight about the logistics of like the geographic difficulties associated with such a thing. But one of the things that I was thinking, Ange, is that it will be helpful to put in some of the legwork and paperwork as though you were not leaving. You know how I've always talked about, having the will and the living will and making known your intentions and things like that. Yeah. So it could be something that once that foundation is in place, and we also can give a link to our discussion with Carl Chen about putting those papers and things in place for your final wishes and things. But, and then it might be like something as an appendix, to when I'm in this country, this is what we do to get back to the main document. Maybe.
Yeah. So got to figure that out. Again, we're moving through the fear and getting to the joy side, but we got to face the fear. So that was a really big one for me. So I was just there a few weeks ago, and
And you got your permanent residency.
I got my permanent residency. Whoop, whoop. And I have to say that, and this isn't a fear thing, it's actually the opposite. It just feels so right. It makes the what do I have to do to figure these fear things out so I can live that way. It makes it more.
That's so exciting.
It makes it more pressing, more, okay, you're going to do this. You got to figure that stuff out, because it's just drawing me so strongly. And So
it's a little torturous for me. And I mean, right now we live hundreds of miles apart, so we don't see each other. But when you're out of the country, it feels like you're in the Far East. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't wait till she gets back. It's like, wait a minute, when she gets back, it's not like I'm going to see her.
You're not going to come ring my bell.
Right. But it's like, it just feels so weird to me. So you being out of the country before I get out of the country, it's just, that's a little bit of a fear that I have, that we won't be able to see each other as free, even though we don't see each other that often, but as often as we do.
Right. You're right. We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out. Here's another concern I have.
What?
I'm trying to think of a way how to describe it. So I'm moving out there with my partner, right?
As am I.
And we've decided, you and I have decided that we're going to live close to each other, because why move out together if we're going to be on other
Ridiculous.
parts of the country?
Ridiculous
So
idea.
I'm sure when you won't be in Boquete while I'm in the city, Panama
No,
City, or other
no,
whatever. We'll be
no.
within smelling distance of each other, but
I want to know when you're cooking bacon. That's what I
yeah,
want.
there you go, there you go. but it's really just going to be me and him,
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
And this type of one-on-one, long-term togetherness, like I've always said, it's easy. I can comfortably share a space with a partner if we have a large home.
right.
So
right,
I like my alone time, and he
Yes.
does too.
right, right,
So I'm anticipating not having a very big frilly home. I want
Right.
something a little compact and cozy
Yeah.
or whatever. So
Right.
that much time shoulder to shoulder and together, it makes me nervous.
gonna-
Because
you're
it's
gonna
not
have to-
like I can call Eb and say, "Hey, let's
Right.
hang out," or my other pals, and it's like, let's
Right,
go out
right.
for a drink. I'll meet you in the city, or this or
Right,
that.
right.
Because not
Yeah.
enough of us are going to be there at the time, and I know I'll make friends.
Yes.
But being there, just the two of us, it's like sink or swim, make or break, or
Right.
it's like
Yeah,
this is the
yeah.
test.
Yeah.
I'm nervous
so
about that.
so how are you going to plan for that? Right? 'Cause
Well,
that's something I'm thinking about too. So how are you going to plan for you needing space?
so one, I'm gonna learn Spanish so that when I hear him on the phone saying, "Esta mujer necesita llevar," I'll know. I'll do it like this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. But I don't. One of
Oh
the
my-
one.
Are you going to translate it?
This woman has to go. Oh, I thought you didn't know.
I know what it meant. But,
this woman needs to
okay.
leave.
Yes, needs to leave, right?
Yeah. But
Oh my goodness.
the good thing about our relationship, which is different from my previous one, is that we really communicate well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the key, honesty and stuff.
Yeah.
And, human beings, we need our alone time, and we need
Right,
our
right.
peace. So,
Right.
I really need to maintain as much independence when I'm there as possible. And again, learning the language is going to be a key to that.
Right. Right. I was watching. Gosh, I wish I remembered this couple's name, but I've been kind of for years now. I've seen programs with them on it. I'd say they're still pretty young, probably in their late 30s, Black couple, and they were talking about the fact that you choose to be together for the rest of your life. That's one thing, but the other side of that is choosing that you'll never be alone. And the idea that, wow, I will never have opportunities to not be together. Looking at that from there's sometimes that I don't want to be with anyone. I don't want to be together. I want to do things on my own. I want to have, my own space. As you said, my partner and I are both creative. So it's like, we need space to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of thinking that, yeah, you can get a home that can accommodate that. And maybe I like to make things. So I was like, I wonder if there are any like maker communities there or in any areas in the city where I could become a part of a group. And maybe that's where I'll spend those hours, once a week, 3 times a month, where I go and just be in community with other people doing things like that and not feeling
Sure.
like, it's only this one person that has
Right,
to,
right.
you know
It's
what I
just the
mean?
two of us. And yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Because
Yeah.
I'll be kind and say, he will get tired of me. Oh, he will get tired
What,
of
you're no
me.
day at the beach?
You know? I was at work today and I was just complaining. And I'm like, I was trying to get a new ultrasound machine because the ultrasound machine that I use is just awful and old. And the administrator said to me, well, nobody else complains,
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, of course they don't. First of all, they're dudes and they don't give much a shit.
Right.
I said, but the other thing, it's like, I'm always the one
Right.
to the squeaky wheel. I'm always the one to enact change, to get
Right.
something, to say, enough is enough. Can we stop doing it this way and take the scotch tape off and buy a new wire or whatever? For example, I'm always the one. So they say,
Right,
well, nobody else complains. Of
Yeah.
course not.
I hate that response.
And then I was saying, Les, you are always complaining. It's like I told you, and I said this in a previous podcast, sometimes I get tired of hearing myself complain. It's like, you again? Stop it. Stop it. But I
You're
just
just trying to
like
make
things
the
a
world a
certain
better
way.
place.
And I think there's a right way and a wrong way, and why take shortcuts. And it's like when
Again, I'm laughing. I don't know what you're gonna say.
while I was moving out of my former home, after I separated, I kept going in our closet to get things, and every time I went in the closet for 9 months, I flicked on the light and the bulb was out.
Oh my God.
And I would have to use my phone if it was dark out, and so I would have my phone in the closet, and I'm like, but
Why?
but it was a chandelier in the dressing room that I installed, so it wasn't the regular bulb. It was the
Right,
3 little
right.
candelabra bowls. So what, right? They weren't magic bulbs. You didn't have to import them from the Philippines. They didn't have to come on a truck from India, by camel. So every time I'm like, okay, click. So, and I didn't say anything because I didn't live there anymore. But I'm just saying, like,
Wow.
man, if I lived here, I would talk about this light bulb every day. And I'm like, what would it take just to get light? The man needed light. The closet was full of his clothing at that point.
Oh my goodness.
So
he had the
that's-
food. It's like, I get it.
But
Yes.
that's me. Wait, can I just say one other thing? Now I'm throwing shade, but I'm going to say it because it's the funniest thing. One of the times I went in there. One of the times I went in there was a small lamp on the floor.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
The worst part about it is, like, first of all, just ask me. I can tell you what light bulbs to go with it, but not just that.
Right.
I bet you know how men are, they don't look for nothing.
Right.
I keep light bulbs of all different sizes
Yes.
in a cabinet.
Labeled.
All you have to do is reach behind. I know I would not be in the house without the proper candles for all, light bulbs for all the lights.
Right.
It was in the house.
Oh my gosh.
It was in the house.
Wow.
So
Okay.
anyway, but yeah, I'm that guy. It's like if I was at work, I would be like, right now, I can't go back in the OR right now. Get the light bulbs right now. I told you about the paper towels over the sink.
You did.
I gotta go to a different sink. Why?
God forbid.
There's paper towels in the building.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Leslie.
but yeah, sometimes I do get tired of
Leslie.
hearing myself.
Yeah, it's
But,
okay. It's okay.
So, do we have any other fears? Listen, this poor guy, and he says it. He's like, poor me, because I'm like, could you imagine? I'm all you got.
It's okay. Hallelujah.
No, he'll
Hallelujah.
just retreat to his sisters. He'll be like,
Right.
Les.
He'll come.
I'm like, I'll go too.
I'll call. I'll
No,
say.
I'll go by myself.
I'm like, Les, he's over here. He's in
He's
the pool.
over-
You guys.
He's over there drinking Corona. I wonder why he didn't invite me.
I just gave him some ginger beer. He's good.
He's good. Just leave him alone for a while.
Leave him alone for a while. He's fine.
Ain't that something? But we're gonna do okay. But we just
Yeah.
gotta work through those kind of things,
Yeah, for real.
And
for real.
yeah,
It's getting real. Just some other things, it's not really big fears, but getting the banking stuff worked out and
concerns.
just
Are you concerned about that? I'm excited about that part.
not concerned, but it's kind of sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed at the long list. The checklist, and there's some big things that have to happen before the actual move, right? It's deciding what's going, what's staying, and making all the arrangements. And every time
That's
you
what scares me.
check
I got a
off
lot
something
of
on
stuff.
the list, you start learning about what's next on the list. That you get more detail about
Yes.
the next 5 things that you have to do. Once
That's
you
true. That's
do
true.
So it's that, but again, it is. This is what has to happen to get that big JOY, the big joy. So we're just gonna get them done.
And here's another thing that I was thinking. What a privilege it is for us to be able to speak and plan in this way.
Big deal.
And I thank
PFD.
God for having options.
Yes, thank you, Father.
There are so many people. It really almost makes me really sad just to think about the people who have no options. They don't have ease of movement. We are planning to move out of a country that I've known all my life. You've known most of your life, because so much of the climate right now is intolerable to us. And we have the privilege and the freedom to walk away. Not that we're just quitting, because that's another thing that I have difficulty with. It's like, this is my fucking country. Nobody owns this country more than I do. Nobody has any more right to this place than I do. And I don't want it to seem like I'm giving up. I am just choosing to stop fighting and struggling. And it's a move towards self-care.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I'm leaving forever and ever, because I don't put those types of pronouncements on things. But what I am saying is that I have the freedom, and I'm blessed to be able to make a move and plan like this.
Yeah.
And how many people do not? Through no fault of their own.
Right.
They just want to live. They just want to eat. They just want shelter. And here I'm wondering how to move things from one place to maybe my second or third place or my fourth place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thank God for having the option of even this considering to do this. So how dare I complain,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's, and I don't see this conversation as complaint. It's like whatever situation you're in, you have to deal with what's in front of you, right? And to kind of fake it and say, oh, because you have this privilege, then everything is smooth sailing. It's not,
For sure.
And yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's it.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. It is about to go down. We're doing this.
Fist
We'll
bump.
keep you guys posted.
Boom.
We'll keep you guys posted, and we appreciate you hanging with us. We're thinking about creating a YouTube community here. We have our Patreon community subscribers there, but we're thinking about starting one on YouTube. If you have any opinions about whether you'd like us to do that or not, let us know. It's kind of itching at us to do it, and so I think we may do it. But if you think it's a good idea, give us some thumbs up, give us some
feedback, some comments.
Some feedback so we can get some momentum around that, okay?
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Thank you.
And this has been another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.